So sometimes you hear stories of people making billions of coins in profit from a new update. After all, new updates introduce new items, new collections, and things that maybe weren't useful before become in high demand because items now need them to be crafted. But for majority of the regular Skyblock players, you're probably not going to make billions of coins. You might make a few hundred mil just from grinding a new update when it first comes out. So what are the players that make billions of coins doing that other players aren't? Well, that would be speculating, making an educated guess, and then investing. Although this doesn't always go according to plan. The amount of people that invested in enchanted melon blocks prior to the garden update coming out is probably pretty insane. Too many people invested in those bad boys and, well, let's say the change in price was pretty underwhelming. But if you invest early enough and into the correct items, it's quite clear that stonks can be made. After all, most of the richest people in real life don't save the money, they invest it. Or so I've heard. This means that we need to cast our attention to the future. Now, we all know that relatively soon, we're probably gonna finally get the update revolving around the wizard portal. But the issue here is we really don't have too much information. An update revolving around the wizard portal has been rumoured to be released for, well, probably since June the 11th, 2019. Probably not, but not far off. That seems to be the next update that's going to come out, but it's really quite difficult to speculate what items may increase due to the wizard portal update because, well, it's a wizard portal, it's a wizard tower. You know, it would just be a complete guess. Although we do know that our foraging update, even though it's been promised for the best part of 2 years, is going to be coming out sometime relatively soon. Happening in a little while. Who knows how long that could be. Now, the issue we currently have regarding foraging is there isn't that many foraging items. Like, currently we have wood and a tree cap. So it would be fairly logical to think that once that update finally drops, we're probably going to see the price of wood increase. And of course, for whatever reason, you need obsidian collection and obsidian to craft a tree cap. I still have never understood this and the reasoning behind it. But it would be fairly logical to think that enchanted obsidian would increase in price. Even though that we will probably see something better than a tree cap, people are still going to need a tree cap in order to actually get the better weapon. It makes sort of logical sense. Now this sort of makes me a little bit tempted to invest in enchanted obsidian. But once again, the fundamental question is, how long is a little while? Considering the wizard led us on for about 2 years, telling us to come back in 3 to 5 business days, and still nothing's happened, who's to speculate? Now, something else to consider is potentially the reforge stones that you can use on the tree cap to get the foraging reforge, and that would either be the moil log, or essentially the upgrade to that with the toil log. But you see, in terms of the content that we have now regarding foraging, there's not really anything else at all. Of course, you have a jungle axe, but that's just basically a downgrade from the tree cap. Also, while we're here, imagine not being subscribed. You should become part of the 23%. Anyway, whenever this foraging update does come out, we can probably expect an armor set similar to the garden update's armor set, so something like maybe a melon set, but obviously not melon. And it's only natural that wood or enchanted wood, it would be used to actually craft a new armor set, because what else would be used? Now, as I've mentioned, there isn't too many items that we have now that could potentially increase in price, therefore there isn't too many items you could really invest in. But for those items that probably will increase in price, when should you invest? Actually quite a good question. Now, of course, you wouldn't want to tie your coins up too early, just because at that point you might as well have the coins rather than just have them sitting there. And I guess we'll only have more of an inkling to when the update will actually drop. Obviously close to the time when I guess the admins start to tease the update, maybe if there's some leaks and so on. After all, you've got to remember that, you know, this update is sort of second in line. As this wizard tower is definitely more important than something that we've also been promised an update for years at this point, and is really probably a very vital skill. After all, increasing your foraging levels increases your strength, and strength is maybe one of the most important aspects to the game. On a slightly unrelated note, I am absolutely baffled to how there hasn't been a foraging update. Like, I can't fathom it. I mean, that'd be one of the first things sure you'd think of doing. After all, this is Hypixel Skyblock. Hypixel is a server on Minecraft. Within regular Minecraft, I mean, you can't mine before you chop wood. You need sticks for that pickaxe that you need to go mining, for the torches that you use when you're mining, for the sword that you use to defend yourself. I mean, in real terms, you've got to forage first. I mean, obviously, this isn't regular Minecraft, but you get what I'm trying to say. Now, one of the main reasons why I'm actually making this video is because a few weeks ago, I think it was HS Fearless did an interview with one of the admins. I'm sure pretty much everyone has heard of it or seen it. Very, very interesting. And in that interview, it came to light that once the foraging update drops, obviously there's going to be a lot of new things. One of the things is there's going to be something comparable to a Heart of the Mountain Tree, which I think is a great idea and would definitely solve the boredom aspect of foraging. And also that from foraging you'll have the potential to make money comparable to mining. Now when you're mining, to get the best tools you've got to fork out a lot of coins, which means just as we see with the farming update, when there was a lot of coins to be made prior to the update, or maybe just when the update released, investing, the same would have happened with mining, and the same, I am almost 100% sure, will happen with foraging. After all, if you are able to make close to like 50 million coins an hour from foraging, number one, that will be amazing, and number two, there's going to have to be some sort of endgame axe, or maybe even like a chainsaw or something. And it only makes sense that probably one of the main crafting ingredients in order to craft that is probably going to be some sort of wood, whether it's enchanted wood or some sort of more compressed version of wood that we see with farming. I'm not saying you should invest in foraging items now at all, because we don't know when this update's going to drop and it's probably going to be a while, but it's something to definitely have in the back of your mind. Once the Wizard Portal update has dropped, obviously then the foraging update is next in line. I guess it's just a waiting game. At the end of the day, foraging is that boring and just completely and utterly mind-numbing. There's nothing to it at all. You are literally chopping wood. It could be vanilla Minecraft. That probably the most popular way of getting to foraging 50 is simply opening Jerry boxes that you don't even obtain from foraging. Something needs to be done. Also, supposedly when the foraging update does come out, there's going to be a new kind of wood that you'll be able to chop. Now at first I thought, well, that's probably simple. They'll just maybe add in the nether wood, or maybe some of the, like the swamp wood, the most recent version of Minecraft. But the server's 1.8.9, so yeah, maybe we'll see something similar to the way that you can mine mithril in the Dwarven Mines. They'll just use a different texture. It'll be interesting to see. But unfortunately, we can't invest in that yet because it isn't here. Anyway, let me know what you think. Are you going to invest in some foraging items? Maybe in the future. And might we even see a foraging mayor for foraging activities once the foraging update drops? That would be cool. But anyway, I think that just about sums up today's video. Hope you all have enjoyed. If you have, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.